I can't see any. 17 days to go. That's what we've got for FreaKKshow 2021 Karnyval. So thank you guys for all coming out. We are going to tell you about the event today. We're going to tell you about volunteering. We're going to tell you about some of the performances and the experiences and everything that we have planned and how you can get involved. So we're going to kind of kick it off here and try to be like real concise with it and keep. And Alyssa's going to tell you about our theme.
So you may be wondering, what is Karnyval, right? It's a mashup of two very different and very distinct things. So it's a combination of Brazilian carnival, which is a colorful, boisterous, grand, glitzy, like glamorous, sexy week or month in Brazil, combined with like the gritty, edgy underbelly of Coney Island, New York. So when we create a theme, it's not just for a party, it's for a multi-dimensional art experience. And we really put a lot of time and effort into crafting these themes to make them really special and unique. So you can't just go to a costume store and pick up a basic costume and come to the event and expect to be like the belle of the ball. We want people to think about it, put work into it, bring in themselves to it, and really radically self-express. So when we think of a theme, there's generally 3 items that we think about. First is a high-level concept, right? Is it making people think? Is it making people work for it? Like, are people really putting some thought and ideas into it? We want that. We want people to show up and really come to the table in a unique way. The second is culture jamming. So sometimes we blend 2 very different and distinct concepts, and we make something entirely different. And the third is we add a significant cultural zeitgeist to mix things up. So the last year has obviously been really chaotic. We've come out of a year of solitude, of deep inward reflection, of quarantine. And when we were thinking about how we can express the revival and the rebirth of this unique moment in time in New York, we were thinking about like the grandeur of Karnyval and how people just want to shout from the rooftops, kiss strangers in the street, drink, fuck, like do all the things. And when you think about Karnyval, it generally happens in the pre-Lenten moments, right? The high holy days of a pre-Lenten celebration. And so we were thinking, why don't we artistically mash it up and make quarantine representative of our Lent and make Karnyval the rebirth that comes after it. So we were thinking about all of these things and we came up with Karnyval. So I welcome you to come up with something really awesome, and I think we have a lot of great things to work with here.
Excellent. So definitely some really great work from the theme team. I think we're all super excited about this year's theme. So what we wanted to do now, we've been working as some of sort of the core team on like figuring out just some of the initial ideas that are going to kind of get us kick-started. Some of the creative projects that we want to do. How do we really realize this theme? Our event is at $3 bill. Can I see how many people have been to $3 bill before? Oh, just about everybody. Can barely see, but yes, just about everybody. So it's a great space. If you've been on the indoor, if you went to our Black and Light Ball, that was there. That has a capacity of about 800. But we also have the back space. And we did a special negotiation with them in our contract that we can use that back space for the entire party, day and night. So we're going to have that space open up past 10 o'clock, so it's going to be there the whole time. And the space is enormous. We're going to show you some pictures of it. So we've got, when we first went in there for our site visit, we said to ourselves, we were awestruck at how much we could do with it, and also a little bit scared with how much we could do with it. So what we wanted to do to take you through some of the creative concepts and how we're realizing the theme is kind of do it through a story. So it's not going to be exactly, we might change some things here or there, like when we actually get to it. You're going to have a lot of influence over this. It's going to adapt and evolve, but a lot of these things we've already started buying stuff for. We've already started speccing out. We've got like crafting day specifically planned for them. So we're really trying to create, we want to show you what the experience of somebody who's actually going to go to the party is going to be like. So this is going to be, we're going to ask you to sort of imagine that it's you, maybe not you because you might be there a day of event helping us, but it could be like one of your friends or any party goer that's there. And we want you to sort of put yourself in their shoes and imagine what the party's going to be like through us telling you about some of these real experiences that we're planning. So let's start out by thinking about ourselves right here. This is Black and Light Ball, but we're going to imagine that this is FreaKKshow outside a $3 bill, Brooklyn. It's at about 11:30 at night. You're waiting in line. Line's going pretty slow. You're like, what's up with these guys? These guys don't know how to run a door. I don't know why I'm waiting here for so long. You're there with all your decked out friends, all these people who have come in costume, because you know a costume Kult partier when they show up to the party, because they clearly got ready for this. They've been planning this costume. So you're having fun out there. You're just talking to everybody, meeting everybody. And now you hear something in the distance. You don't know what it is. You're like, wait, that almost sounds like drums. It almost sounds like, hold on, let me put this a little louder. It almost sounds like drums. And you're like, what could this possibly be at 11:30 at night in Brooklyn? And it's all the way down the block, but you see it coming toward you. You see it getting closer, and you look, and the whole line looks down the street, and you're saying, what's going on here? And you realize it's clowns, and it's performers, and it's jugglers, and it's hoopers, and it's all these acts and sideshows coming down the street, starting this random parade in Brooklyn. And you're like, why did I go to this party? I should be at that party. Screw this, I'm getting out of line. But they keep coming towards you. So you say, what's going on? And they get closer and closer and closer, and then they stop right in front of the line, and they're performing for the line. And you realize they're not there for some other party, they're there for FreaKKshow. And they're performing for you, they're interacting with the crowd, and their flashes are going off, and the jugglers are interacting with the crowd, they're handing out balloons, and the crowd is going nuts. And you say to your friend that's in line with you, or your friend says,
holy shit, am I at the right party? This is incredible. Are they actually coming to this party? Are they coming to the $3 bill? What a fucking entrance. This is amazing. I love Costume Kult.
and you say, this is the best party entrance ever! And the doors, the $3 bill, swing open. And then you realize, this isn't a slow door. I'm already wristbanded. They were just holding me here. I'm part of the parade now. And you're going to follow that parade inside $3 bills. Now, you've been to $3 bills before. You know that ticket counter, this room is boring. There's nothing here. But that's not what you see when you walk in. It's something completely different.
You follow this drum troupe through the magical mirrored Karnyval circus wagon of wonder. You push aside the mylar mirrored walls through and past the Karnyval posters that promise a night of excitement and enchantment where you will see...
Sorry, go ahead. There we go.
There it is.
Larry the Lobster Boy will be there.
And from this moment, after you pass through this entrance, this grand, ridiculous entrance, you pass through into another world. Every single doorway is going to transform you into a different environment. So you see the bar on your left, but you feel this wind blowing on your face on the right, and you realize that it's a wall of thousands of ribbons. And you put your hand into one and you pick it off, and it has a message on it. It says, you are exactly where you need to be. And then you realize that every single ribbon on that wall has a message, a wish, an intention. It's a take a wish, make a wish moment where you can add something for someone else to take, a wish for their night as well. And before you realize, the drummers are sort of marching away, right? The parade never stops, and they keep going, so you follow them through another lighted door into an entirely different universe. So they go into the main dance room, but is it really the main dance room? Because it looks kind of like a three-ring circus. And you see a circus tent that's covered in lights and performances, and there's maybe a trapeze artist hanging from the ceiling, and it's ridiculous, and you feel like you're transported into 1930s Coney Island.
And it's all projection mapped.
It's all projection mapping. It's a complete spectacle. And as the band marches in, everyone just erupts with applause and laughter, and they are completely blown away. And then the MC on the microphone says,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest night of your lives.
And all of a sudden, the DJ starts playing with the drummers. And everything is just going completely insane. You're dancing, you're listening to these drummers. Everyone is saying like, what the fuck is going on here? This is completely crazy. And then you notice the parade actually never stops. And they're still walking through the main room, and they go out into yet another environment. So in this place, these are a bunch of people that you've seen, that you know, but you've never seen like this before. They're completely uninhibited, and they're covered in paint, glitter, they're laughing, they're connecting. Everybody is getting ready for their special night. They're getting all glammed up with our body painters, our glitter station. They're getting themselves super special. And as the band marches on and takes you outside into another world, you look to your left and you see not just a photo booth, but you see an artist who has a complete setup where she is painting with light. So she basically puts you in this environment and through long exposures creates a work of art out of your body.
And then you keep going back in that patio, and you get to the top of the stairs to the outdoor space. You get it a little louder. Look up to the top of the space, and you look out to that outdoor space. It's this huge space, and you're not in New York. You're not even in 2021. You are in 1930. You are in the Carnival Midway. There's games, there's activities, there's sideshows, there's interaction. You're overwhelmed. You've never seen anything like this. And you look around and you look at the aerial acts. You look on the main stage. And on the main stage, there's aerial performers performing. And you look around and the sideshows are there. But wait, these aren't regular sideshows. These are weird. These are the craziest sideshows you've ever seen. And they're super kinky. And of course, leading the pack is Spankies.
And picture this. You walk outside and then you see a lion tamer, an androgynous lion tamer, taking people inside the cage, whipping them, inviting them in the cage. It could be you, and you. Then all of a sudden you see a light shine up to the ceiling and you're like, what is that? Is that a sledgehammer? No, it's a spanking machine. You spank a prosthetic ass and then raises it. And the winner gets a big giant stuffed animal. Then you look over here and then we have FreaKKshow. They are doing this incredible casino kind of thing, and where you might bring your childhood teddy bear and you might win it. You might win, lose, or draw your pants, and it just keeps going on.
Everything's on the table except money.
Yes, and everything is on the table except for money and your dignity. Also, you hear sound and you hear people cheering. Everybody's trying to win the finish line because we have a dildo race happening. It's a cacophony of sounds. It's going to be incredible. So much going on under one roof. Come, join us.
And of course, you keep exploring, and later on in the evening, you come to our favorite event, the event we're known for, the event that is pure costume cult, the fashion show. And the MC, probably this guy, says at the fashion show, what's happening in the fashion show?
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to encourage every single person that's invited to come up to the fashion show and show their outrageous outfits. It's a spectacle. People love it. It's interactive. It's fun. We usually pull this off around midnight. It's 15 minutes down and dirty, and we're going to encourage, some freaky acts along with it. So everybody's invited to attend, dressed to the nines.
Because at Costume Cult, you are the show. We are all about participatory parties. We are all about creating experience. We are all about creating and making the people who come to our show part the show. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
We literally did that last night. There's two different ways, like major ways that we want to participate. So I know Billy and Denise will come up and talk to you about art in a second, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about volunteering. So volunteering, I'm going to ask you because I tried to understand your handwriting in the last meeting and I could not do it because nobody writes anymore. So I actually need you to type it for me on a form that we set up. And maybe by the end of the presentation, or even now, I need you to take a picture of this QR code. And if you're on the volunteer side, you haven't given us your information, we're going to ask you stuff like your name, your email address, how do we get in touch with you? But more importantly, what are you interested in? I'm going to tell you about the teams. We're going to tell you about all the different things that you can do, ways you can get involved, and then we will use that to like reach out. The volunteer team will use that to reach out to you to like connect you with everyone. Really, really short form, I promise. And then the other one is art and activities. So maybe Billy, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Hi guys, I'm Billy. So we're curating a bunch of different like interactive like performers and experiencers. So I would be the person that you touch base with about either like pairing with someone else to like bring whatever ideas you may potentially have to integrate it into the theme with Karnyval, or like if you want to do something but you're not sure what, you just like want to do something fun, then I'm totally down to work with anyone and figure out like what like activation or activity would be fun to do and what would fit with the team.
And I'll be under Billy advising and helping anybody's vision come to fruition. I have a question, Billy. What do we do about like performances? Let's say we have an aerialist. Who do they contact? You or House of Yes?
If they're booked through House of Yes, they would contact House of Yes, or if they are through me, they would contact me. But it looks like so far how it's falling together is that there's a mixed pool, but Justin Ketchner for anyone who's booked through House of Yes would be the contact.
Got it.
So
anything?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I'm also with Billy co-leading, and we are in contact with Justin. He's also kind of sort of wrangling the talent, so we'll be sort of communicating with them, deciding on budget and things like that. But I want to also say, this is a good opportunity if you're an amateur, you want to showcase your talent. We're looking for folks to be really creative, and maybe you want to not necessarily do a performance, maybe you want to bring an experience. An example, we have Wadi here wants to do virtual reality, so that's something really cool that you can consider. Top ring toss is another example. So things like that, like really, get those gears going and try to fit in the carnival theme. And I'm just more of a logistics person, so I'm going to be just creating the schedule, things like that. Billy is definitely the better contact for coordinating between yes and artists, things like that.
Anything you want, like things that we've seen in movies, like a butt plug, tug of war.
You want to talk about it? Yeah.
In a movie, huh, Joey?
Yeah.
In a movie.
So anything. And that was just my thought. Anything that we want to do, we have like a people that can make it happen.
Yeah. But in all seriousness, we are trying to like get like our like closeout of like any performers, acts, like somebody that does pool hooping. Somebody that does, well, we can't do fire, unfortunately, because of the venue, but if they do something with LEDs, totally, an aerialist that wants to do something, we're going to see whether we can get a rig out there. We're going to, somebody you think would just fit and would just have fun doing this, whatever it is. What you're going to do is send them to this, take a picture. If you think you know someone, think about it right now. I know this person, take a picture of that, send them there, and that form will be our intake with them, have a discussion with us, and we will find a place for them. We will help them get on theme. We will talk their act through. We'll tell them where they need to go. We'll help them get stuff. We're all about participation.
Bedded meals, still lockers.
And it's those three like small booths right when you walk in. Like they're not small, they're very intimate, but they're good for experiences also.
Yeah, absolutely. So that outdoor space, actually, like those tents, those 10 by 20 tents that when you go outside, so you've got like when you go down the main staircase in the big sort of outdoor area, there's like main stage sort of like right in front of you, and then there's like 10 by 20s back there, and we're thinking about like setting those up as like individual like areas that we can like put people, and then there's some people that are going to be roaming, and there's some people that are going to be maybe like better indoor acts. There's like we're going to talk to them about it. We have tons. The beautiful thing about this venue is we have so much space. So, yeah. Cool? Okay, so now I want to tell you a little bit about the volunteer team itself. So the one thing that you have to decide, other than what your name and email address is on my form, is what team you might be interested in. So I'm going to tell you about 5 teams, I think. One of them is the production team. So the production team is my team, I'm the lead producer for Kostume Kult. Josie is right up there. She is the production manager here at House of Yes. But you will be my contact, and Josie's going to take care of the House of Yes team. And on the production team, I need help with basically like wrangling the circus. I mean, literally wrangling the circus. When do we talk? What are the teams doing? Does everybody have what they need? If you're good at project management, if you like organizing stuff, if you're not sure if creative's for you, but you want to do something, I'm a great option, and I prefer not to be in the corner by myself. So, next is going to be the volunteer team, and Joseph will tell you, or no, Tanya's going to tell you about that.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Tanya. Nice to see you.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, baby. So I'm part of the volunteer team with Joseph. Joseph is the actual lead. I want to make that very clear. All the big problems go to Joseph. But in the meantime, we just want to have help. Our job is to help you as volunteers, to help you set up, find the right place for you where you want to be, have you help us create manage the contact list, manage all the forms that we're gonna, there's just 2 forms, they're very fast, please do them. And it's just to, welcome you and find your space. And we need help, we need anybody who likes spreadsheets or likes to organize other people or tell other people what to do. So please come with us, okay? Don't everybody run to Ray's group, please also come with us.
And this is going to be a really fun role too. You'll get to meet, if you're the type of person that likes to meet new people, this is the role for you. You'll get to join, you'll get to get to know people, figure out what they're good at, and put them on those teams where they would be best used.
And I would just say one other thing, and you guys sort of will already know this because you're here. Like, Alyssa and I were working on this presentation last night. We literally started slide 1 like last night at 11 o'clock, and we and honestly, like, volunteering or like putting this together, like creating this thing, to me is 5 times as fun as actually going to a party. It really is where I personally get a lot of fulfillment, and I really do enjoy telling my friends that are like, that I have to like talk between, like, hey, you can get a free ticket for volunteering, or you can buy a ticket, like why they really want to volunteer, because it really is just such a fulfilling experience. You meet people, you do things, I mean, some of my friends that I've done this with are lifelong friends now, so I'm having a great time. You get to tell other people how they can have a great time doing stuff. And it's a 10, if you're burners, then you get that already, because we're 10 principles, and that's what we live by.
And the party starts when you start volunteering. Like it already started tonight.
Yeah, for me it did. Yeah. It started 3 weeks ago. Let's go to the next part. So, promo. So Susan is going to tell you all about promo.
Hi everyone, I'm Susan. So why this promo team is really important is that we've got these amazing producers and these amazing teams around here that spent all this effort to create this experience. But then how do we spread the word to let people know to come to the party? We've got this massive, huge venue. So this is where promo really kicks in. And there are really 2 sections to the entire promo team. One is the creative side. You're actually having a hand in creating the content that's going into our social media posts, our Facebook posts, our email blasts, everything that's out there. And then the other is actually the promotional side. So if you're really good at either one of those, like creative or like you got lots of followers and likes and on social media, this is a place for you. Come talk to me, and then we're gonna spread the word out there to make sure that everybody in New York knows about this party.
And I should also mention, we got some like super cool stuff coming. Jay back there has been working on some like promo video stuff for us. He's been doing like these like amazing, super cool like 3D like motion graphic things that we're gonna splice old content into. Like, I'm super excited to show you.
Also, can I just add in one quick word? So the last party that was produced, Black and Light Bulb, the Kostume Kult produced, actually made it into New York Magazine. That's how big like the promo went. So like the New Yorker magazine.
Even better than New York magazine.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some media coverage on this one too. So that's promo. So the next topic we're going to talk about is creative and decor. My lovely lead.
So creative and decor is probably, no offense to the other teams, but it's probably the biggest impact team that the guests are going to see. So we have an opportunity to create something that is, completely transformative, a completely new world. We get to take our guests on an adventure through things that we create and build and design. So if you would like to join the decor team and you have any kind of crazy idea, we will help you bring that idea to life. That is what we are passionate about. So if you want to build a butt plug tug of war obstacle course, great. We will be happy to help you build that obstacle course for the activity of the butt plug, tug of war thing. So we have, we're here to help you. We're here to provide guidance and support and creative energy. So like Ray was saying earlier, the fun is in the volunteering, right? Like when you go to Burning Man and you have to deal with putting up the kitchen and building your porta potties and doing all these activities together, it may suck at the moment, but you make friends that are going to be your friends for the rest of your life because you're doing an activity together, you're creating together, you're building together. So imagine doing something that you really fucking want to do, that's your brainchild, everything is supporting you, and there's still people around you that want to help you. Of course you're going to build some great relationships. So we have a lot of really cool things that are coming up. We're building a church. We're doing an altar to the patron saint of Karnyval. I'd love for somebody to help out with that. We're going to be, creating different environments in different rooms. There's all sorts of things. We have a ton of carnival games. We have just lots of things to build. And should I talk about the makerspace?
Yeah, sure.
So we have a couple of things coming up, and of course are looking for volunteers and people who might be interested. So thing number one is we are gathering for a Maker's Day on Sunday. So there's a costume quilter in the community who actually owns and operates a makerspace with her husband out in North Jersey, and we have full reign of the space all day on Sunday. This is laser cutters, CNC machines, all types of really cool stuff, plus a ton of space for all of us to get together and work together. So we have designs that are coming in. We're going to have wood cut, in advance. We're going to be painting. We're going to be building. We're going to be fixing up our Zoltar booth, for the fortune teller feature that we're building. We're going to be doing all sorts of really fun things, and I'll feed you. So it's you can't lose. So if you do have a car and you're interested, let me know. If you don't have a car and you're interested, I will find you a ride, even if I have to rent a car myself. I'm really excited to get everyone together, and I think we're going to have a great
What
day.
time?
I am getting to the makerspace at 10 a.m. as it opens. If you're not a morning person, I would still appreciate you coming. I want to get as much of the day in as we can, so I will be there at 10, and we'll just go until it closes.
And no experience necessary.
No experience necessary.
We'll teach you everything.
Because they own it, it's really kind of whenever we want.
Wow. PM.
I mean, I imagine we'll probably leave around 6. But if we're super engrossed in a project and people are full steam ahead, I'm down to stay. So that's going to be really fun, and no experience necessary. If you don't necessarily have artistic ability, but you want to try, I have a ribbon wall that needs thousands of ribbons tied to it, and I need somebody to do that. So there's opportunities for you. Addition to that, we have another couple of crafting days that are coming up next week. One on Tuesday, it'll be at my house in Hoboken. We have another one coming up on Friday. We're going to be making tiaras and sashes for the performers. We have a lot of really great stuff coming up. So I'll tell you more about that in our breakouts later.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. And the only other thing I would say to that is if you've been to our parties and you're like how do these guys come up with these crazy costumes, or how do they build this stuff? You've ever just been wondering to learn a new skill or get to work with some really creative people? This is a great team. Honestly, I don't have to really recruit very hard for this team. I had to recruit for the other teams because this is super fun. Okay, so theatrical and experiences.
All right, guys. So I like to like before we are looking for talent. So whether you want to try a new act, you know someone who maybe is trying to sort of get seen, maybe do a show, they're practicing. We want those people. But also, we do want some professionals. So definitely, if they're free, because they're obviously booked up pretty fast. So if they're, someone who's free on the 31st, definitely send them our way. Basically, want to create a kind of magical experience in which people between coming to different dance floors can maybe slip into a corner like, oh, what's this cool little thing that's going on here? So that, they're participating in the party and, maybe creating something with someone else, whether it's a performance, whatnot. We'll see and we'll flesh out from the people that we gather.
Yeah, and I think, to say like no idea is really a bad idea, throw them at us and we'll like work with them. Like if you've always wanted to sit in a corner and do like a really bad sex advice booth, sure, do that. Or even if you wanted to participate as like a activation or performer, but you don't know exactly what to do and you want to work with someone on ideas of like, I want to perform, I want to be in front of people, but I don't know where to start. Also, I'm the person to reach out to, and we can start like thinking of ideas that could be fun and fit the theme. But yeah, butt plug tug of war, great ideas.
The only thing else I would plug for these guys is they need help. I know they're dying to get axed, but in all seriousness, like the other thing I think is like really fun about your team, about like being on your team, that is that like especially like when I work with Christopher, which I don't know where he went. It's like always really fun to like right there, literally, right in front of me. I thought you were behind. I don't know why. All right, but like when you're working with like just talking to people about like what their performance idea is and helping them like work through it and figure out how to make it the best that it can be, helping them to like make it on theme, help like giving them ideas, just like really taking whatever experience or idea that they had to bring to the party and making it really cool. And I think that's a really creative aspect, not just even the logistical aspect of what you guys are doing.
Is there a certain time where we want to have the bulk of the acts happen? Like is it between 11 and 1, or is it anything like
That's
that?
up to you guys.
It's gonna really depend on, like what the act is, if it's stationary, if there's someone who's roaming. So once we sort of get an idea, hopefully by I would say mid next week when we'll have a better idea of what we have.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to reach out and hopefully people will read their emails, especially by the weekend and things like that. That by next Wednesday I'll have a better idea of not really running a show, but like what ideas are out there, what we're planning, and how are we going to sort of set them up. Whether there'll be a stationary station, which we have several of, but we definitely want to kind of include the people who are going to be kind of roaming around, interacting with people like. Trina's doing like balloon wrapping, so that's like classic carnival, fair. So we're also looking for people like that. Maybe you just want to like hand out fake cotton candy and surprise, who knows? Like be really creative because we're really looking for people to come and help out. And also, I don't think really between you could like handle the people and managing. So it's really just you bring their experience, we'll help you craft it, and we'll put you in somewhere so you can really, whether you're performing in front of people or bringing experience, will help you get there.
And the activations and experience themselves tend to dictate the amount of time that they take. So we'll find like a flow to make sure that there's always something happening, and that also we don't have like two performers kind of like competing in the same area with the same type of content.
So is that like main stage outside, main stage inside? Whatever they're doing, we'll find you a stage or
Yeah,
head
like-
over that corner.
Yeah, we'll be like, well, there's a corner over there. Let's put someone in there, or
Yeah, like for the stationary stuff, that should be like some of them go on all day, like for the carnival game, because that's just the how carnival games work. Will be more so like availability to people if they want day or night, and also one final thing would be like the roaming performers, like how often they're kind of rotating, and then some of the big performances like what is it? Brazil guys, I can't pronounce that name.
Fogo Azul.
Fogo Azul, yes. They're probably going to be kind of making, rotations, and same with the rowing performers. They'll every couple time slots they'll be kind of going out. So they can also join the party. Like that's why you also want to come, because you want to bring something and also have fun and enjoy it and participate as a guest as well.
So just because DJs don't like to be interrupted, we're thinking like a couple of things on the main stages and then most of the things elsewhere? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there'll be things that like as you go through the party and experience the party, you'll like stumble upon people who are like doing different types of activations and things. But I don't see it necessarily conflicting with the DJ.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be like a performance that's overshadowing. It would be complementing.
Yeah, there's also some level of like the space just works for that because we can't do amplified sound in that space outdoor after 10 o'clock. We can do non-amplified sound like a piano player or something, and they don't care about another performer there too. So
I have a
we.
piano player, so
What's that?
hopefully my friend who's a
Yeah.
piano player out there, so maybe put him over Karnyval and maybe, I don't know, that kind
Drum
of
circles
funny
until 5
piano
a.m.
guy.
I'm pretty confident that will get us in trouble. I'm not confident that the parade's not going to get us in trouble, but we're doing it anyway. So next team, thank you guys so much. So the next team is consent team.
Yes. All right. So I'm filling in for Aileen. I'm not the consent lead. So the consent, 11th principle. If you want to join this team, you are someone who is willing to gift that safe space for everyone. In our community, the way that we dress and the way that we act, it's only possible with certain conditions. And if you are on the consent team, you are the fairy godmother. You are the protector. You are the people that are making sure that there are no creepers. You, in order to be part of the consent team, you would be taking a sober shift. So you don't have to stay sober for the entire party, but during your shift, you have to be sober. You cannot be a creeper yourself. See something, say something. So this is a service to the community. All right. We want to make it also an experience in itself because just shouting consent, 11th principle, all that stuff is great. It's great to get that education, but to make it interactive and to really encourage consent as the 11th principle. We call them KK Guardians. You don't have to. We can change up the name, but there will be people that are wearing easily identifiable things like maybe an LED armband, and it will be in all the emails so that everyone knows that you can always go to someone on the consent team if you're having an issue. I think that that's pretty much it. Also, just speaking a little bit more about the volunteers, anybody that volunteers on the volunteer team
this is incorrect.
can get, I will make you a custom, we're not above bribery. I will make you an electric kazoo, a custom electric kazoo.
Not if you want Tanya to love you. Not if you want Tanya to
You
love
plug the guitar cable in and you plug it into the amp and it sounds amazing.
Amazing. Actually, you should stay up because you want to talk about miscellaneous support.
Oh, right.
Live demo?
No, it needs to be plugged in.
That's what I thought.
If you don't know what you want to do, but you know you want to volunteer, still come to me. I will give you a job. All right? You can set up. We definitely need people to set up. It's not going to sound very nice because it's not plugged in.
I know.
There's a mic though. You gotta use something like this.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome.
we're going to need people to set up. We're going to need people to drive large trucks. If you have experience with that, we definitely need people to break down. So if you break down, you will get it. I don't know where the after party is, but you'll probably get a ticket to the after party.
Breakdown is fun.
Breakdown is fun.
It is it's so much
I do
fun.
It's fun.
And that's where you really get to meet people and you get to see like it is the best.
And you can find all the drugs.
Are there electric
When,
kazoos?
yeah, deep scores, you keep anything you find on the floor, except cell phones.
Butt plugs.
But in this leftover butt plugs from the tug of war. So this is actually where all the friendships, the setup, the breakdown, this is where all the friendships are carved out. These are people that you're gonna look to your right and to your left and you're gonna invite them to your wedding. People, we're gonna run, we're still figuring this out in terms of the vaccination stuff, but we are checking for vaccinations and or negative COVID tests. So we need people to run the door. Some of these will be paid roles, and we're gonna figure that out. If you know a good photographer, good videographer, send them to me. The costume, like most of us will be volunteering for more than 5 hours, but if you know somebody else who wants to volunteer, you can let them. The Costume Cult policy is generally anyone that volunteers, contributes for 5 hours in a meaningful way gets a comp. So please tell your friends.
One more thing, Joey.
Yep.
You know, there's going to be a few of Carnival games that are out there, and the people who are doing the Carnival games, not all of them, but some of them, won't be able to staff it the entire night. So if you don't really know what you want to do, but you want to help out, and you can put your time in as someone who's out there being like a Carnival worker in a Carnival game. For instance, I have a dirty cornhole game, so I need someone to staff it and make sure that people who are coming will be handed the right feedback of their desire or non-desire, so they can throw that out. You know, maybe someone wants to help staff the penis racing game. You know, so you don't actually have to think of a game to be part of the game.
Be a carny.
Whatever you do, it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun.
To double down on that, I have a concrete toss and a tattoo parlor we're setting up that I need help with staffing. So if that interests you, come see Joseph.
So if you know how to do tattoos. I knew that there's actually maybe potentially going to be a real tattoo booth too.
We're working on the real tattoos.
We communicate over Facebook Messenger. There's a lot of chatter on there. It's talk to your friends, blah, blah, blah. You might choose to mute it if you're like, this is way too much. And that's totally fine, because we also email you important stuff. I know, email. And also, if you don't use Facebook Messenger, I'm sorry. There's like literally like 50 messaging platforms that can't even keep track of it anymore. We had to pick one, so we picked Facebook Messenger. So that's how we'll just add you to, each team has their own group, and that's what we'll use.
And if you need to if you haven't filled out the form, you can go to the event page. You're going to see the form there on the event page as part of the discussion. You can find it, look for Tanya Elizabeth's post, I think it's the number 2, and just click it, fill it up, and I will follow up with it.
Perfect. Okay. So I think this is the last thing I had on the official presentation, which is one other way that we need your help, which is to help us promote the party. And hopefully that's not really hard, because hopefully we sold you on the fact that this party is going to be the fucking party of the summer. Like, I really, really believe that. And hopefully you do too. And the way that you can tell your friends and get them out there, and they'll thank you for it, is by promoting it. So how do we find promoting it? Of course, post to your wall. We're going to be putting out posts like videos and stuff. Reshare it for us. Like it. That helps with the Facebook algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, all that kind of stuff. Like, hopefully you follow us on those platforms. But the real big way, the key way, the thing that's like critical for us that we've always used and gets tons of people out to our parties is Facebook invites.
So yeah, with Facebook invites, it's really critical because that's when we like really get a litmus test for how many people are actually saying they're going or they're interested in the party, and we gauge that. So one of the things that Facebook sneakily has done on us is for us like veteran party producers, they put a probation on us when they have, unfortunately, we send out a lot of invites regularly. So what we are really calling on is for all of you guys who are like new to Costume Cult or hasn't sent out like 5,000 invites in the past. I want to see some hands. Who hasn't sent out 5,000 Costume Cult invites in the past? Thank you, all of you, every single one of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All of you are going to go to your computer or your phone tonight, and you're going to invite the maximum number of people you can.
Please.
Please, 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 please.
Do it right now.
And also, the number one times that people respond are between the hours, apparently, of like 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. and also in the morning, somewhat between like 10:30 and noon. Somehow, everyone's checking out from work at that time, and that's when they respond. So just go ahead and just do it. Make sure we get, that's a really key way to get the message out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So along those lines, I mean, Facebook is a science that keeps changing. So how's the algorithm want to deal with it this week or post-COVID? Things change. So right now, we are getting all the information up there. A bunch of the DJs were just added today. The daytime DJs, we're waiting for them. And then there's going to be a content calendar coming together where we're talking about DJs one day, we're talking about acts the other day. So it's not just doing the invites, it's sharing the posts. So keep it going, And then just make sure your friends that aren't on Facebook, that there will be emails going out, and we have a new Telegram group. All the kids seem to like Telegram. I don't, So we're experimenting with multiple ways to promote, and it is a new world. So just stay on it, keep promoting, and especially if somebody is kind of a should-be burner, like just get them to this party, because I mean they're about to see what our community can be all about.
Cool. So thank you guys so much. One other thing with that, we also have some like printed cards. We're gonna print out some cards if you're gonna be going to a party and you think like there's gonna be people there that we want at our party. Like obviously like we wanted people to buy tickets, but if you actually like want to target specific people you think will like our party, let us know. We're gonna do a print run and we'll give you the cards, and they have like the QR code to kind of get people. You can give them out. So, and actually that's what we did at Dead Mouse at Brooklyn Mirage last weekend. We went in our like LED ears and we just looked for all the cool people and we like handed them the cards. So how you get good people. You want to party with good people. Let's make sure your experience better. So yes, critical invites. Okay, so last thing here, I'm gonna leave this up on the screen so that you guys, when I walk away here, can actually just go to these sites. Please fill out the form. If I can't get in touch with you, I can't do anything. That's literally the only thing you need to do tonight, other than send out Facebook invites. And we're gonna get, each of the teams are gonna kind of take a little corner for like the next 30 minutes, drink our booze, eat our snacks, come chat with us, hang out if you can for a little bit. Ask us about it. We're gonna be talking about like what the individual teams are doing. You can ask us questions. And I'm probably gonna like be around here. Where do you want to be, Susan? Susan's around right there for promo. Alyssa, where do you want to like hang out?
I'll go to that corner.
Hang out over there. We have Joseph and Tanya.
We'll be over there.
By the bar.
Oh yeah, by the bar, near the alcohol.
Perfect. By the bar. Billy and Lisa, where do you guys want to be?
Next to the disco
The back. Wherever. Over there, wherever. Just little corners. Chat with the team you're interested in doing something with. And thank you guys so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. And thank you for helping us for hosting. Thank you.